Yeah, I think this record is probably like my top go-to. Something I can put on pretty much any time.
My name is Andrew Rodriguez. I'm a composer and a producer. I live in Champaign, Illinois with my wife and 2 dogs. I've been writing music since I was a teenager in hardcore bands, touring for months on end. That part of my life formed the musician who I am, and composition became the next step in that journey.
Alright. So I do about 18 grams per cup. I like my coffee a little more potent. It's good. Yeah, and part of my whole like composition routine, I make a lot of coffee, or really drinks in general while I'm writing. It's just like it's a nice way to like do something with my hands and like be able to like kind of zone out and think about what I just went through or like what I was just working on. It's just like a nice go-between. It breaks up the flow of writing a little bit, and plus I just love making coffee. Yeah, part of my like whole process is like being able to take breaks and think and like reflect on what it is I'm working on.
Although I don't perform much on stage anymore, I stay connected to my roots in the indie music scene through producing. These two paths, composition and producing, inform one another regularly. I use my experience in the studio to inform certain decisions while I'm composing, and vice versa.
I try to internalize the music as much as possible before I write it and while I'm writing it. I always like having a purpose. You know, I have a purpose for the notes rather than just writing the notes. And you know, I mean, I've never really told anybody this before, but really like the key ingredient to like my compositional process is this whole like idea between like you take
I'm drawn into the experiential qualities of music. When I'm writing, I think of music as an experience. It's less about the melody and more about its tactileness, how it feels around you. Am I creating a world that you want to exist in? For the past few years, I've found myself inspired by film. Not the music in films, but the craft and techniques of filmmaking itself. Like how a director can guide your attention to what they want you to notice in the frame, or what they want you to notice is missing, or how a well-crafted edit can carry the emotional arc of a film. I try to use the art form of filmmaking to challenge how I think about composition.
The perfect time of day for some coffee too. Love a good afternoon cup. And I'm a hot coffee drinker too. Pretty much any season I'm drinking hot coffee. Here we go. Perfect. Stir it up a little bit. Let that get saturated. And we're off to the races. Yeah, so I just try to like approach every piece with like a new sense of like what is this world I'm trying to create? What am I trying to say in this world? And that it really pushes me to think outside of what I've already done and try new things and try to find new sounds and new ways of writing music. And that's the most exciting thing to me, is just constantly pushing myself. See, the pour is key. The pour game has got to be strong, or else this is just, the cup will just fall apart. Whew, it's gonna be good. So the piece that I'm working on now, this piece for Friction Quartet, I'm trying to kind of like work in this medium of a recorded piece, a piece that is meant to be recorded and kind of exists in full only on record. And so the way I'm approaching that is by pushing kind of against the boundaries of like fact versus fiction. You know, I've worked in the studio a lot, and for me, like, studio recordings represent this kind of artifice. There's like there is like a falseness to a studio recording because of the ability to, you know, overdub and edit, what have you. It doesn't mean there's less integrity in that, but I want to exploit that sort of artifice that exists inherently in a studio recording, and then butt that up against real life by using field recordings and like ambient rehearsal recordings, things like that, and kind of blur the lines between what is fact and what is fiction in this recording that you're listening to. You know, it's different when you watch a piece live, because you know that what you're witnessing is actually happening. You know, you're seeing them produce the notes, so you're seeing, you know, any sound that gets made, you pretty much watch it get made. But when you're just listening to a recording, that's not always the case. You don't really know where the sound is coming from. And that really excites me. So I'm working with those ideas in creating this EP length piece for Friction Quartet. It's a really exciting project that they've got going on. I'm really happy to be a part of it. It's going to be really, really cool. I'm really excited for this cup of coffee right now.